Welcome back here, 2016 NXL World Cup. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez. So after a whole first day of play, the favorites have started to emerge here. And we had such an awesome day of paintball yesterday. I know we say that every time, but I'm so happy to be here. This is the best event of the year, the biggest event that we've seen. 450-something teams are here. It's just completely ridiculous. Let's get a look real quick here at some of these yesterday's results. The awesome first day of prelims that we had. Edmonton Impact definitely really stepped up yesterday, I felt, in their first two matches, though they did have a very close one against Uprising, Todd.
Yeah, and I liked the way Uprising played yesterday.
Yeah,
Uprising was in both of the games that they played. They just couldn't finish there at the end. But, hey, we saw that a lot yesterday here at World Cup. Teams really fighting hard. Games were close. Some matches tighter than you expected. But, hey, that's World Cup. People came to play. Every game's an important game. Every match counts. Every point. It comes down to all the little things here. Who's doing all those little things right, and that's who's winning and who's executing.
I'll tell you what. We only saw one blowout, and that was the Aftershock Russian Legion game. Talking about teams that are playing well.
Yeah.
I really thought that the Russian Legion played great yesterday. They had 2 wins, and we saw a lot of close games out here. Now, that's because of the way that this field layout is playing. It's also because it's World Cup, but I think really the big story there is that the level of parity between the lower level pro teams that are ranked 16th, 15th are starting to get better, and we're starting to see that, and that's why we're seeing these close games out here between, you know, a team that's ranked first and a team that's ranked at the lower part of the division in Uprising and Impact. I think that's a perfect example. Let's check out the kill count leaders here also too, if we get a chance to get that graphic up, as we're taking stats again. And it was also interesting to see who was emerging as the top killers. I thought it was interesting when, you know, talking about X Factor, as they played in the afternoon and had, you know, that game you guys had against X Factor was pretty fun to watch too. Yeah. I know that was kind of a heartbreaker for you guys.
Yeah, it was fun though in the game. I mean, we go up 2 points and then we lose 5 points in a row. But of those 5 points in a row that we lost, I think we were up bodies, maybe 3 of them, and just threw the points away. You know, so you go back and you look at that and you're like, you know, it's just those little things here and there where we didn't execute, get the job done, make the right move at the right time. And, you know, credit to those guys for being able to fight back down bodies and still able to pull those wins out because they're veterans, they had experience, and they've been playing together for a long time. So, I mean, it was a tough game to lose, but definitely a good fight and a good fight for us to be in that game, to play against those guys that way.
We have about 3 minutes to go before the start of this first match here in today. But, yeah, but yesterday, man, to watch the Ironman go after the first game that you guys had, where I feel you got a little bit of a gift in that win.
Yeah.
But you made the most of it, and then you came and played a top-ranked team, a team that's taken 3rd place two events in a row and won the World Cup not too many years ago. And they have Archie Montemayor out there who was just stunning. You know who played great for X Factor yesterday, particularly in the game against you guys, was Michael Kovar.
Yeah.
Michael Kovar really stepped over here, stepped up on this snake side of the field. And when we were looking at the kill count leaders, him and Archie were doing the lion's share of the killing, even though Archie died early. And you know who also picked it up for our X Factor was Colt Roberts the second game. First game he was, you know, kind of getting shut down a little bit. But there was signs of life out of your guys as well too. So the Ironman and X Factor, I'm not going to be playing each other again today. Obviously, they will be playing in the afternoon bracket, but the morning bracket here, you know, you correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think it's just blatantly apparent that the top teams were Impact, Infamous, and the Russian Legion coming out of the morning bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, both of those, all those teams going 2-0. The way that they played, they executed their game plan. Both the Russian Legion and Infamous really didn't do a whole lot of different from point to point. They had the same game plan over and over and over again. It was working. They executed it, and that's how they won. Impact got a little bit more creative, but once again, their star power shining out there. And you know, they're just a hard team to stop. The one team that I really got to give credit to, even though they went 0-2 yesterday, was Seattle Thunder. You know, the way that we played them, they played hard, man. And this entire season, and even going back to last season, they always have really good games against good teams, and they always find a way to make one small mistake that hurts them there at the end. They definitely should have beat us yesterday. You know, we could try and go at the end. They get a penalty. We go to overtime, and we're able to pull it out. But then they go against Dynasty and are beating Dynasty the whole game, and then lose at the end there because, you know, I was talking to Matt. He's like, we came out and tried to sit instead of trying to go finish that last point off, and we didn't bring enough paint to sit and, you know, hurt ourselves. But every team here is playing pretty good. You know, I was talking to the Shock guys who are about to step on right now, and they're like, man, you know, we're playing tough out here. We had a decent one, our first one, but when we played the Russians, you know, those are the guys who really just beat the brakes off of us. Those guys are playing well.
Yeah, the Russians are looking spectacular, and it's about time. You know, that they've spent some time rebuilding that team. That team is officially rebuilt, and it's just been a pleasure to watch them play yesterday, just because of how well they were executing. So, getting into this first point here, Edmonton Impact and Chicago Aftershock. Nick Laval going up to the center off the break. It looks like Justin Cornell is the first body to drop for Edmonton Impact over on that D side of the field. And Carl Markowski now here switching to the snake side, Todd. That's good to see. You were asking for this yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see, because I know he can get in there and he'll be smart when he's in there, and that's what Aftershock needs, is somebody to come over here on the snake side, play smart, be alive, be able to make those moves, because this is one of those fields where you got to go from your snake 1 to their snake 3 in a flash, and Carl Markowski is just the guy to do that.
I couldn't agree more. Keith Brown now makes his move into the snake, and it was, as the play was developing out here yesterday afternoon, I felt that some of the teams are kind of slow playing this snake side, but I feel that the teams are playing the best have those offensive weapons here on the snake side. I don't think the team that I may be wrong, but I don't think the team that's going to win this tournament is going to be playing pocket every single play. I think you're going to have some offensive capability on this snake side, instead of just going to that insert bunker on the snake and looking at the D side. And really the only bunker you can shoot on the D side from the insert bunker on the snake side is D3 and the 40 and 50, or the 50-yard line Doritos.
No, absolutely. Here you see a move from Keith Brown, jumping over snake 1, diving into snake 3, getting that help from Laval, but Impact has lost their snake side. Justin Cornell got shot on the break, and Zane Yakimek is walking off right now. So 3 bodies alive, but they do have a pretty good field position and a lock over here on the snake side, as Carl Markowski is looking to get frisky out of the back of the snake to get a shot on Nick Laval. Zach Yakimek over here in the snake side tower is the only body looking towards that Dorito side, as Aftershock starts trying to wrap around and make moves down that side of the field.
Yeah, so Keith Brown has put himself in position, but here comes Carl Markowski, who comes all the way out of the snake and goes to the stand-up tower instead, and then the snake gets filled right after that into snake 1. And then here comes Carl Markowski. He's going to take an unconventional route to take out that center and stays alive. What a great move. Carl Markowski, Chicago Aftershock, alive past the 50-yard line in that stand-up temple.
And that's what I was talking about with Carl Markowski. He's one of those guys that understands how to find those seams, and he's very explosive when it's time to go. Takes a step back, goes to the tower, shoots Keith Brown, and instantly, before the ref can even pull Keith Brown off the field, he is launching to go bunker Nick Laval so that he can't recover.
I had a chance to talk to Carl before the start of this game here, and he seemed really positive. Looks like that point is good. He's actually dealing with a meniscus tear in his knee, and had to get to get that knee pumped full of steroids. Had to go to the doctor, and they had to do an MRI, and you know, you're obviously very familiar with knee injuries, and so he seems pretty confident about he's going to have surgery, as he wants to have surgery before December 31st, so he can get that deductible on the insurance in there, you know. But it's just good to see him playing through that injury, and also shaking off the performance that Carl had in the first game for Shock, where he was getting shut down a lot. He played much better the second game, going down the D side, and now getting 2 kills and winning that point here for Shock on the snake side. Now we're going to get into this match here between Infamous and Uprising. Uprising, as we were talking about during the Open, went 0-2. They looked good yesterday. Infamous went 2-0. So Uprising spreading the field and sending a body up into that center. And it looks like 2 bodies have dropped here for Infamous off the break. Now just 3 players left alive for them. Borromeo up in that center for Uprising.
Yeah, shooting 2 bodies off this break on this side. And of course, Damien probably have to look this way a little bit, because he's been going to that tower and shooting across towards the Dorito side, crossing it up with the Dorito side can, which he's doing right now with Corey Bornstein. Brad McCurley still on the attack over there, jumps into Dorito 3. It's kind of been pretty amazing to watch Brad McCurley run down that side of the field, no matter how many bodies all day yesterday are looking at him, still getting up that side of the field, probably better than anybody I've seen.
I totally agree. I think one of the reasons that Infamous is sitting at 2-0 and why they looked so good yesterday, yeah, they had some great snake play, but Brad McCurley and Corey Bornstein on that D side,
and there's Brad,
arguably the best 1-2 combo over there
for sure
from yesterday.
For sure. And here comes Alex Borromeo. Gonna come back over to try and find Brad McCurley. I think he knows where he is now. Borromeo's going to look to Graham Arnold over there in Dorito 1 to get a little bit of help, but Corey Bornstein gets shot, so he comes running off. Just 2 bodies left alive for Infamous. Olsvik wrapping the snake side corner, trying to help out Borromeo. Looks like Damian Ryan's going to start feeling the pressure now too in this stand-up on the snake side. He's going back and forth. I don't see Olsen. Olsen may have gotten shot. No, Olsen's here sitting in Infamous's Snake 3. And Damian gets a shot in on Olsen, but Damian gets shot in the head. Brad McCurley goes walking off. Damian's ball bounced up, takes another bouncer. Damian on his third life in that snake tower by himself. But they got one. It looks like 3-on-1 right now.
Yeah, there
Olsen, Borromeo, and Graham Arnold, and they're going to shoot Damian, and that's going to do it.
Yeah, Olsvik, Olsen, Borromeo. Nice work by Uprising to put the first point on the board here. It definitely helped them out that they were able to shoot those two bodies off the break. Love playing 5-on-3.
Yeah. Got to close those games out. Uprising going up 1.
So Todd, you know, you were able to watch all the games in the morning, coaching in the afternoon, and obviously with your paintball brain. Did you notice that some of the teams were just going to that insert bunker on the snake side and kind of looking cross field and not playing with any sort of offense there towards the afternoon?
I feel like it wasn't people intending to go there and just look across the field.
That's the question. I'm wondering if that's becoming a game plan.
What happens is it's easy to get caught up, and this is one of the things that drives you nuts as a coach when you're #1 on the snake side, goes to the snake insert and shoots across the field. But if a team gets far up on that Dorito side early on you, it's easy to fall into that trap of trying to look that way and gun battle with people, especially if they're live and with bodies on the snake side ahead of you, pounding that edge of that snake insert so that you can't get out of there. But you just have to stay dedicated, know what you're supposed to do, and try and fight your way out of it to get in the snake, because that's where the kills are.
Looks like Alex Goldman getting a spin here for Impact, and he gets shot trying to get far up in the snake. Body dropping for Shock too as they try to get out wide here on the snake side. Carl Markowski is in the insert bunker looking to make a move as Impact starting to make moves on that D side. You can see Shock also went up to the center there on your screen. Shock is, you can see the line for Shock.
Ronnie Dizon come running off that Dorito side.
So now Templeton and Dizon have been shot for Aftershock. Just 2 bodies left alive for them. They're going to need to get another kill here. It's 4-on-3. Carl might have got a shot cross field. Referee's going to run in and check out player for, might be Justin Cornell over there on the D side. No, he's clean.
Yeah, so Velez in the back center, looking towards the snake. Carl Markowski going to make that bump into the snake and get through Zach's gun.
Nope.
Shock with that Lawhead in the wall, looking towards the Dorito side.
No one in there with Snake, and yeah, you're seeing AJ Lawhead for Chicago Aftershock gunfighting with that D3. That's an important gunfight that could decide this point unless Carl can get down here. There's no one in the snake with Carl at all. Carl has the snake side to himself. Yakimek is in the stand-up temple, now looking towards Carl. So now 2 guns looking towards the snake side, trying to get a shot on Carl Markowski. AJ Lawhead locked up with, I think that's Zane Yakimek in D3.
Looks like, I think it's Justin Cornell. Yeah, Justin Cornell, Rabikoff behind him. Rainey in the back center. Alex Goldman walked off, and Zach Yakimek over here on the snake side tower. Carl Markowski sitting in snake 3, trying to help Lawhead, but...
Well, if Aftershock loses 1 more body, that'll make it a 4-on-2. That's probably going to do it for Impact as far as them being able to win the point. But if Shock can get a kill here, I mean, so Impact does have a 1-body advantage, but Shock has the ground, which is why we're kind of seeing this a longer point now as they're trying to figure out. You can see, look at all the talking going on with Impact. It's exactly what you want to see. Yakimek calling codes over to Rainey. Rainey continuing to talk then to the D side. You can see Rabikoff up on his feet, wanting to make a move from D1. And wrapping around and protecting his player in D3, Cornell. Lawhead and Cornell, though, Lawhead has just been posted up on that D3, trying to watch the lane from D3 to D4 to that 50-yard line. Carl now at the 50-yard line here on the snake side. See if he can get a cross-field kill and even up the body count. So he's screaming that Dorito 1 code back to AJ Lawhead.
Yeah, Carl sitting in that pin, popped up, almost had a shot on Rabikoff. Rabikoff was looking for him, standing tall out of the back of that Dorito 1. Justin Cornell now going to switch back to the inside, just work on Carl. Lawhead's just up there. Nobody on Impact's really giving him much. He's kind of just stuck at that wall, posted on the Dorito side, but the Dorito side, guys, he needs to stay that way so that he can watch that wire as Velez is in the back center protecting Carl. Here comes the move by Rabakov coming down the middle. He
Still
goes
alive.
Yep, he's still alive. He goes to get Velez, and it looks like there's going to be a penalty.
On Lawhead?
No, it looks like it's going to be on Rabakov.
Oh, wow, that's huge for Shock. Is it on Rabakov for sure?
It's on Rabakov. They're pulling Impact players. Karl Markowski wasn't shot. They pulled a minor, but then they pulled, looked like they pulled 2 players.
Well,
so
well, then Velez should be alive if he got shot by Rabakov, who had a hit on him already.
And he only threw a minor. So, but he looked like he pulled 2 bodies, so.
And there were enough bodies left alive to pull if it's just a minor. Because they had 4 bodies alive. Rabakov dies, they pull 1 off, they still have 2.
Yes.
And they could actually take
But remember,
major.
yesterday in the Shock game, when the buzzer hits, if everybody stays in their spots and they call a penalty, they'll restart the game with the bodies in their spots. Unless everybody's dead, but Karl Markowski wasn't dead.
Carl was not dead.
So
Carl
it would
didn't
have
get
been maybe
shot. And Carl's still out there. He's posted up by the refs.
Yeah.
And there's Yakimek
and that's why
Rainey.
they're putting these bodies back in their spots right now, I believe, right?
So
that's
that
why
would
these guys are
make
standing
it,
here?
that should make it a 2-on-2 then. Because Velez, it depends on when Rabakov got shot and when the penalty was. Was it Velez trading out with Rabakov? Did he get AJ Lawhead clean? Or did AJ trade with him? When did he get shot? Because if he got shot from AJ, then Velez should still be alive.
And it should be a major,
yeah.
And it should be a one-on-one,
yeah.
right? Because Rabakov is dead. He gets 2 guys. He gets Rainey and JC pulled, and now it's just Zach and Karl Markowski.
Let's
right?
check out a replay here. So there he goes. There's Rabakov. And this is kind of a far shot, so with the glare of the morning sun, we can't really see if he has hits on him, or at least from our angle, we can't. Now, so let's see where. So Velez gets shot by another player.
Unless they're saying that Velez and Rabakov traded.
There's the hit on his leg.
Unless they're saying that Velez and Rabakov traded, then Rabakov hits the buzzer.
Well,
right?
If we can run the replay back, now that we know that he has a hit on his leg, we can look to see when that hit came. Was it Velez? Does he have that hit on him when he comes right through here? Can't see if he does yet. Well, I can hear the referees are saying they're going to restart the point. So here comes Rabakov. I think we might have saw a hit right there. Can you see a hit on his leg?
I don't know.
Yeah,
like the ref does, because the ref is standing up right now and already pulling his flag. You see that?
Yeah. Yep. So he must have had that hit. Well, Dave Baines is out here trying to sell it to the ref about how he got shot at the end. So you were saying that the ref was getting up and going for the flag before he got to Velez.
That's what it looked like, but then we cut it.
Anything, it's no point. Okay. I didn't see what happened.
So CJ Traub, our head referee here on the sidelines, is talking to his refs.
Like I said,
Dave Baines is right by him.
If it came from Lawhead, then it should be a major 2 guys pulled, 1-on-1, restart the game.
Yes.
If it's from Velez and then he hits the buzzer, then they pull Velez, pull Rabakov, pull 1 guy, and it's a 2-on-1, restart the game. But because everybody got up and moved and they blew the horn, they probably won't stick people back in their bunkers. They'll probably just say no point and then start again.
And there's Dave Baines, one of the coaches here for Impact.
Here's my argument. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Where did he get hit?
In his leg.
In the right thigh, right? Right thigh?
In his right.
Okay.
His right leg.
Okay. Now I want one thing from you guys. Ask your Stargate that checked him when he got hit, and he'll say right at the end in the right thigh. Listen, bro. I'm telling you right now. Listen. You missed the call, and that's fine. My argument is, I'm staring right here. I am going to speak my mind. You missed the call. I'm not mad at you for that. You think the guy might have hit him. He didn't get hit in the right thigh, is what you're calling, until the end. I want one ref to give me an honest opinion at the start when he hung the flag, when he got hit. And if he says in the right thigh, then you know you're wrong. That's all I'm asking. Hey, who was that?
Dave, no, Dave, into the pits.
You know what, guys? If you guys make a mistake,
into the pits, Dave. Dave.
So, well, Dave's doing his job. He's the coach, and he's trying to, he felt it. He saw it one way. All the coaches do that. but he is being warned now by the refs to get back in the pits. And now there is Bart, the other coach and owner of Impact, talking to CJ. And now Mikey Bruno's over here too. And there is Carl still out just chilling on the field, surrounded by some refs. And Dave's still kind of losing it over here, getting louder.
Last warning.
And CJ just gives him his last warning, so Dave's going to have to come off. Doesn't want to get more penalties for the team. And there, well, still on the field. What do you think, Todd?
That was a close one, but
Yeah.
I mean, with those few bodies on the field, it looked like the refs were in position to make the call. You know, or you think that they should have been, right?
Yeah.
Only a few bodies there, looking for the run-throughs, you know, anticipating the play.
So still waiting to hear some sort of official view.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
Well, Bart's saying that they got it. Now Carl is out there conferencing with the refs. We have Nick Sloviak over here near the broadcast booth getting ready. Getting ready for his game.
Did you see it?
Did you see it? Oh, so
He got shot by his own team?
Nick's saying he got shot by his own team when he went in to hit the buzzer. Oh, okay. Well, let's check in with Lauren Kelly. Maybe she can ascertain what's going on here with all this chaos. Lauren, what do you got for us?
Hey, Maddie, as you guys already know, J-Rab is saying that he got shot after the buzzer, but it's sounding like it was an inadvertent horn, so they're going to be starting with the Shock bodies live on their side of the field to run down and hang the flag. So it does sound like it's going to be Shock's point. Back to you.
I feel like that's the fourth version of what
Yeah, I don't think we covered that situation.
Nick's saying that he thinks that J-Rob got shot by his own guy. Dave was talking about the physics of where a hit in his right leg would have come from. That was his argument. And then and then now they're saying that they're going to start with the Shock bodies out there. And yeah, already we're getting into some chaos.
Do you have a coin? Did we just flip this and get it over with?
Yeah, I think I got a coin somewhere around here. And it's
right.
tails. What does that mean?
It means we're going to start 5-on-5 again. Both teams get a major. We'll play 3-on-3. An inadvertent major. Nick just dropped an inadvertent major on me. I don't know if I've ever heard that before. Actually, you know what? I've gotten plenty of inadvertent majors. You're fired as our sideline reporter, Nick. Bring me Lauren.
Maybe we can get an answer from CJ. CJ Traub, head referee. Can you give us an answer? What's going on?
CJ, no FaceTime Traub over here, wants to give us no help. This is why they pulled him off the field. Made him stand on the sidelines.
So he can get just ear beatings.
So he can just continue to not help me.
Just getting ear beating after ear beating from all the coach and players, from everyone that plays out here on the pro field. So it looks like Carl is walking down back to his start pit. Sorry, his start station. There is Carl Markowski, who has just been out there this entire time.
Carl's ready to go.
And Carl is about to get...
Is there an Impact guy over there or no? Or is Carl just going to walk down the field and go hit the buzzer?
I've never seen this. Have you seen this before?
I actually think I have seen this before.
This particular situation?
Yeah.
Well, not the exact situation, but... Well, that looks like Aftershock's going to be getting the point.
We were going to let it run out. We have 3 players left.
I honestly think I've seen that before.
Yeah, I don't think I have
1
either.
minute.
So
I've definitely seen it where they restart and put the guys in the flag station and they play one-on-one, but if there's nobody.
Yeah, I've never seen them put the body back out, restart the point so you can have the guy start to walk down the field to hit the buzzer and then have to have the other team concede the point.
Yeah.
That's a first one for me.
I mean, let's just save ourselves some time here. You know?
So Nick's saying that the Impact players left the field to play, but Carl smartly stayed out there just in case this happened.
20 seconds.
So, sounds like we had an inadvertent major followed by an inadvertent buzzer, and then all the Impact guys walked off the field. Then Carl took their flag station on the break. Nobody stopped him. Didn't even shoot a ball and won the point.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Carl by himself won that point out there on the restart.
Well, we might as well get the ridiculousness out of the way here in point 3 of the day. Get into some real paintball here. Poor Uprising and Infamous have just been sitting in their pits.
Yeah. Graham Arnold's hair's getting sunburned out here. We got to get this cracking. I mean, we already restarted the point.
Well, at a certain point, you just need to make a decision. I understand that they're trying to get the call right, and that's very important, and I like that the referees are doing their due diligence to listen to both sides of the argument. But at a certain point, you have to just make your decision. You get the refs together, you ask everyone what they saw. It's the referee's job to make the calls, not the player's job. Because the player, of course, is never wrong, and they're always going to argue till they're blue in the face that their team should get the point. So that's what the referees are out there for. So they should just make this call so we can move on. What did you see? You know, let's do it. That's what the refs are for. They can even do it by committee. Hey, the 5 of you are right there. What did you see? What did you see? Get some sort of common story, make a call, and move on. so that poor Infamous and poor Uprising can play some paintball out here. Let's check in again with Lauren.
We'll find out.
Hey there, now Dave Baines and Bart Yakimek are saying that the Impact still had 3 bodies alive on the field, so they would have had a body alive as well, so that shouldn't have been a point that Shock would have gotten because it would have been a one-on-one. Back to you.
Yeah, so then we have a 5th version over here with Steve Rabikoff.
Oh, let's hear this. What's the Steve Rabikoff version of what happened?
So you're never going to believe this, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, so Steve grows some hair back, you know, but because he found this magic lotion that you put on, but it was underneath a bunker, and that's ultimately what J-Rob was trying to do. You know, he's just trying to shoot those guys, get his pops that hair lotion, you know, because, you know, it kind of, I feel for the elder Rab. You know, his son has the hair, he doesn't. I feel his pain. I literally feel his pain, as anyone that watches the webcast knows. All right, we're back into it here.
All right, here we go. Infamous, 2 in the back center. Brad McCurley out to the can. Thomas Taylor out to the corner. Uprising, spread the field wide as well on the snake side, but also getting into Dorito 1 on the break. Not going up to the wall right away. Alex Borromeo sitting in the back center, but Olsvik quickly launches up into snake 1. And is going to have Olsen behind him in the tower. The duo for Uprising. Every point over here on the snake side.
Oh, looks like Brad McCurley gets shot off that D side of the field. So 4 on 5 right now in favor of Uprising.
And here goes Thomas Taylor on the inside move. Cuts up and over to snake 1.
Thomas had a real good day for Infamous. Well, pretty much everybody on Infamous had a real good day yesterday as they went 2-0. Uprising needs a win right now to stay relevant here at World Cup. Need to win out today, win both their games to have a chance, and they are up by a body right now. Both teams have a player in snake 1. Both teams have the back bunker on the snake side. Not much of a push coming on the D side right now for Uprising, as they're content to sit in D1, and then Uprising throws a body away here. I think that's Olsvik, as he gets shot trying to come around, and now we're even up on the body count, 4 on 4.
And Borromeo is going to fill out to the snake side from the back center to help Brandon Olsen in that snake corner.
You know, we haven't seen Olsvik die sloppy much at all yesterday. Even I know they lost both their games, so those are some close games. So got shot just trying to get from snake 1 to snake 2. So good job by Infamous to lock that lane down. That was a really big kill for Infamous to even up the body count. You can see the crossfield spread right now for Uprising. Olsen in the back corner bunker, dead center of your screen. Borromeo, stand-up temple there. And then as we go across, we also have D1. You can't quite see as it's blocked out. And then the stand-up can, 4 on 4.
Quick move into Dorito 3. I think that's Joel Eaton over there on the Dorito side for Uprising.
So Eaton in good position. D3, and there goes Graham Arnold getting into D1 to back him up. Now Thomas Taylor is going to make a pretty big move here on the snake side to get into the 50-yard line here, see if he can do something with that. Goes past the 50. That's been the stock move. You get into that position, that bunker set, you just go past the 50. Go to that big, that's a much bigger bunker to work with. That mini wall spot, that to use that little pin that's behind Thomas now. The bunker in front of him, obviously, much larger, easier to work with, better cross-field shots. But there's a lot of shots from that spot. So Thomas is working it in the snake. Eaton for Uprising definitely has an angle on him cross-field, and he is just posting up and just shooting paintballs over the top of Thomas Taylor's head to keep him honest in there. And here comes the hammer getting dropped by Borromeo, but he bunkers the wrong set, and comes over, tries to jump, thinking Thomas Taylor is past the 50, but Thomas is smartly backed up. So I like the move from Borromeo, but he just picked the wrong position, and what a smart veteran move by Thomas Taylor. Maybe feeling this, his hairs on the back of his neck are starting to tingle. Also like to welcome Steve Rabikoff back up to the booth. It's kind of an interesting way to start the morning out here right now, right?
Real interesting. Good morning, good morning.
So, yeah, so now Uprising and Infamous. Uprising up by 1, and Infamous now playing on their heels a little bit. Or sorry, Uprising on their heels a little bit now with Thomas Taylor still on that 50-yard line, and Borromeo having to throw his body away and didn't get Thomas. With Eaton, though, still in D3, Thomas has to be careful over there, and that was the reason he backed up off that spot. Can't really gunfight if you constantly have balls being shot over the top of your head, and Eaton was doing a good job of keeping Thomas honest in there. So now you see where Thomas is. He was up past the 50, and then he backed up, and the reason why, now he's going to go back to that spot maybe to try to get a shot on Eaton cross field. He's not going to get very many chances at this. He comes across and he pushes him in, but he's living by his gun.
Uprising always does a really good job of just staying alive in their spots when it gets tight like this. They tuck in, they scream for help, guys make counter moves. Here comes Olsen down the middle of the field. He goes to get Thomas, gets shot because Thomas was already dead, could have came in there alive, and now that opens the door. Bornstein gets shot. I think he might, did he trade with Eaton? Or is Eaton still in there?
Eaton's still alive. Eaton is still alive.
Good job by Arnold and Eaton. Looks like Arnold may have taken a bounce going back to the back center. I think it's Damien may have retreated. I think it's Damien and Mikowski left, and there goes Graham Arnold. So I think it might just be Eaton. Here comes Damien on the launch. He's coming to get Eaton.
Well, Mikowski, the safety valve over here in the back corner bunker on the snake side, that was really the difference here, and also some clutch play by Damian Ryan with bodies dropping all over in that attack. First by well, first it was Borromeo, then Olsen,
Pointed crew,
and then it was Eaton, and so 3 bodies coming into or pushing into the line of Infamous, but Cody Mikowski able to stay alive in the back corner bunker here on snake side, and what a great job by Damian Ryan. He had to reposition on the D side to deal with that madness, but able to put a point on the board and tie it up. It's going to be 1-1.
Yeah, that one definitely looked like it could have gone either way. With those couple moves down the snake side by Borromeo and Olsen, they had the opportunities, and just, small little errors there kind of hurt them.
Let's check in with Lauren real quick down on the sideline. Looks like she was a CJ.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm down here with the head ref, CJ. CJ, talk me through that last penalty a little bit. There was a lot of confusion down here on the field about various decisions that were made.
Yeah, so Impact had a player come through the middle, received a major for some action that went down right near the 50, and then continued down and shot the back center also. So the first major draws him 2-body penalty, and then shooting that additional player actually pulls the 3rd live Impact body off the field. Because the player hit the buzzer, it creates an inadvertent horn situation. So the last live players from the Chicago side are put back to the start box and allowed to come down and then hang the buzzer for their point.
All right, back to you guys.
So that makes the score 2-0, and we're watching it on your screen right now. And while we were getting that information, there was some plays going down in that center. Each team has lost a body. Carl Markowski, Drew Templeton for Chicago Aftershock is the only player for both these teams in the snake right now, and he's the only guy on this side. Still 4 bodies left alive for Shock and 4 bodies left alive for Impact. even up on the body count, 9 minutes and 9 seconds to go.
And like you said, the only shock is going in the snake. Zach Yakmak is close here to the snake one. And as we say that, Justin pointed out, Zach Yakmak gets taken out. Zane on the Dorito 2, so it is now a 4-on-3.
Aftershock doing a good job right now of getting early kills and getting up the field. After that Russian Legion game, that was a little bit rough for them. Came back, played better in their second game, and continuing on today here. Right now, getting up the field against good teams. You know, lost to Infamous, but now up 2 points on Impact. See if they can continue to fight.
Oh, looks like Impact might have lost another one, and they do, as Zach Yakmak follows his brother off, getting shot, trying to get into Snake 1. Keith Brown immediately fills Snake 1, but he might have caught one too. Referee going to get in there and check him out. And it looks like he is clean, so that's good for Impact. They need Keith to step up right in this point because they are down by 2 and lost a couple bodies here.
Yeah, Justin Rabikoff over there, he just takes one right in the side of the goggles from the Snake side of the field. Leaving just Keith Brown over here. And looks like Impact's gonna hit that buzzer, so
Shock's
on a roll right now.
Different shock today than we saw yesterday.
You know, I talked to Carl before the game, and he seemed really confident, and I asked him, you know, is confidence an issue for you guys? Because, you know, you seem to, not that they're lying, I know that they believe in their team, but we just had a longer conversation about it, and he's like, look, I feel today we're going to have a much better showing today, and everyone always says that, right? But it's good to see him call a shot, essentially, and he's playing particularly well in this match, but and across the board, Shock is doing a real good job of identifying the threats, shooting bodies off the break.
And he's playing in the position that we've known him to play.
Yeah.
He's been on the Snake side. Yesterday he was on that Dorito side, and like you said, his knee was bothering him a little bit, so maybe he said, not today.
Yeah, so we'll see. Now back in this Infamous Uprising match, and this game is tied up 1-1, 8:14 to go, and Uprising loses a body D side off the break. 4 players left alive for them. Infamous 5 alive. 1 body advantage for Infamous. Infamous on your screen on the right-hand side.
Brad McCurley once again in Dorito 3 early. Trevor Reeser running up to that Dorito side of the wall. They shoot 1 body on the break going out wide of Uprising. But Uprising still able to get Olsvik over here in Snake 1 early with Brandon Olsen behind him. Nobody in the Snake for Infamous. And there's Olsvik sitting in Snake 2 trying to put the pressure on Reeser. They're in the center. Reeser's going to come back to try and find him. Looks like Ninos is trying to make a move out wide. He wants to get either out to the corner or to the Snake insert. Playing way deep off the back of that Snake side tower. Brandon Olsen watching over Olsvik. Borromeo and Graham Arnold crossed up in the back center in the Dorito side can.
You can see there the kill count. Thomas Taylor having a good day. 3 confirmed for him, and also Graham Arnold with 4. We saw Arnold play well yesterday, and actually Arnold's been pretty solid all around for Uprising. That's what's going to be scary about Uprising in the next couple years, is if they can keep it together. The talent level on that team is high, and they're starting to play better together, starting to get that gel. Now here, Damian Ryan up to that center 50, double stacking the wall bunker. Damian shooting towards the D side. Reeser shooting towards the Snake side.
And Brad McCurley crosses on the Uprising side of the field, but he gets picked off by Borromeo in the back center. But quickly followed up over there on the Dorito side. Infamous fills the Dorito 3 once again. Ryan and Reeser up in the wall. Ninos, Snake side tower. There you see Infamous. That's Reeser on your screen. Meter fills out to the Snake side corner. Olsvik, Olsen, Arnold. Borromeo still alive. Uprising very content to play these tight games. Very confident in their gunfighting ability. Willing to go toe-to-toe with anybody. Like I said, having really close games yesterday against Impact and Trade My Gun. And here again, in a nail-biter against Infamous.
So this player on your screen right now, I think that's Meter. His gun's been down for a couple minutes now, so Ninos hasn't been able to get his gun up. So it's going to be tough for Infamous. That's having that gun down that really take some of the pressure off the players alive for Uprising. So Uprising's going to be able to focus on putting Paint back into those center bunkers.
He needs to get himself in a good position where he becomes that target for the team. If you have an issue, you can't do anything, then help your team.
Yeah, try to put yourself in a position where maybe when things are starting to break down, that you can be the guy that gets up to run forward to take the guns, and then have your players play off your move because you can't help them with your gun. Meter just staying alive though back there, and now we're looking at the Uprising player in the snake, Olsvik.
Yeah, and Meter just being in that corner has tied up Olsvik's gun ever since he moved in there. Olsvik only posting down the wire, not giving Reeser any shots. And Olsen just sitting back there protecting him. Olsen and Borromeo talking, going back and forth, trying to keep an eye on Cali Rudolph in Dorito 3. It looks like he wants to make a move, wrapping low around the outside. Graham Arnold bumped into that Dorito 1, so he got out of that can. There's Damien and Trevor in the wall. Cali in that Dorito 3 right next to them.
Oh, and Damien gets a shot on Graham Arnold. What a great shot by Damien Ryan from Los Angeles Infamous in that center 50 wall bunker. No moves have come off that yet. Still 3 bodies left alive right now. 4 Uprising.
Eating away at the time right now. 3:55 left in this match.
Yeah, neither team with a lead though. So it really, when the time starts to tick down, every point becomes more important because you're not going to get to play a lot of them.
Yeah. If you're Olsvik, at what point do you go, man, I've been staring at this corner for 3 minutes and he hasn't shot a ball at me?
Yeah, hasn't even really, he's almost not even head checking with them. Yeah, he's there, but after a while, if you haven't been shot at, you might think, hey, maybe that guy's gun's not working.
Maybe I'll wrap in here, put this guy in, and see if I can cross over.
And there's the angle that Olsvik has to worry about if he pushes forward. That shot as Reeser is laying down and has to get pretty low and come out wide because of that little bunker that's been attached to the 50 wall bunker, blocking off that lane.
Which was about the smartest move that we could have done here, putting those 2 little cakes.
So there's Niños still alive in the back bunker and definitely no gun. He's holding his gun, but hasn't shot a ball probably about 4 minutes. One of the longer points that we have seen in this tournament.
Down to 240.
And how's this game going to break down? You always got to ask yourself that question. Now that Infamous is up 4 on 3, but they only have 3 working guns, is somebody going to wait, try and make a push, or are both of these teams going to be content to let the clock run all the way down? As you see, it's already getting pretty tight in there.
Yeah, this has been a 6-minute point. There was 8:19 on the clock when this point started.
Now Olsvik standing up. He's thinking about...
He's like, well, nobody's shooting me at the corner here. Like you said, it's been 4 minutes before...
4 minutes, this guy hasn't shot a ball at me.
Well, when you have, and also when you have a 6-minute point, generally speaking, you're running out of paint right around now. But it looks like Olsvik still has a couple pods on his back, because he spent the majority of this game just stayed and posted on Niños, whose gun doesn't work.
And just Uprising players taking little pot shots.
So I'm wondering with Damien Ryan and Trevor Reeser in that center, we know how aggressive those guys are, and they're able to look directly at the clock from that position. Oh, never mind, because now Olsen dies, and that should open things up a little bit. And there goes another body too. So immediately Uprising needs to concede this point, preserve the time, and they do. I was going to ask, at what point do Reeser and Damien Ryan attack to try to steal the win at the very last second, or are they going to wait and try to go to overtime with Reeser and Trevor? I'm sorry, with Trevor Reeser and Damien Ryan. I was thinking they would try to steal that point towards the end.
Well, Cali had that whole side to himself, right? So him wrapping low around the outside, the guy he's really putting the pressure on was Olsen. And then Damien, I think, wrapped around the Dorito side of the wall, and maybe he and Cali or just Damien got a good shot in on Olsen, and that was the difference right there.
And you could see Olsen, he was in there just trying to survive as long as he could. And he did for four or 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and with that really long point now, Shock and Impact are coming out, and it looks like Lauren has an update with Impact.
Hey guys, yeah, I was in the impact pit during that last point. They know that Aftershock isn't going to take the pressure off at any point, so they're trying to match their aggression. As you see, they're trying to send Rainey down to the center to lock down the field. Not sure if they've been successful yet, but in the Aftershock pit, Rob Velez says there's no way they're taking the pressure off. Impact is #1 for a reason, and they won't get complacent. Back to you.
Look at this.
Huge move by Carl, but he's got to be careful. And then, oh, what a nice combo there. Carl gets into the 50 snake.
Great move by Carl.
Yeah, and Laval has to focus on Carl because he sees him flying. Then he just gets his back ripped to pieces by, what is that, Lawhead? Nice work by Chicago Aftershock. We'll see if Carl can live past the 50-yard line here as the guns are turning to him.
That move that Carl made right there is exactly what we were talking about yesterday.
Yep.
That's why you keep Carl on a snake like this.
Yep. And now he's just putting pressure on Alex Goldman and J-Rab over there, that Dorito side. It's going to be real difficult for those guys, especially now that they got 2 guys here in the snake.
What was it, 2013 when Carl first came back to Aftershock? And these are the moves that he was making every single game. Got to keep running with it. Got to utilize his speed.
I've been a huge fan of Carl since, we stole him from Tip and Effect 15 years ago. But because of that reason, he's very explosive when he's playing well, and he can be a big asset. And this is a huge point for Impact. There's only 6 minutes and 30 seconds left. If Aftershock, who have the advantage right now, win this point, that's a 4-point spread. When was the last time Impact has had to fight back from a 4-point spread?
It's been a while, and the way both teams are playing, this field is playing a lot slower, obviously. So this is a great positioning for Aftershock right here. Now they're moving on to Dorito 1. So you got Impact at Dorito 3. With Alex Goldman and Justin's right behind Dorito 1.
It would also help Aftershock if they do win this point to take a lot of time off the clock.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Impact can win fast points. If you're Impact, maybe just blow this horn right now and go at them for 6 minutes, right? Because it's going to be tough to win this point with all these bodies. What does Impact have? 3 left?
3
got
left.
Rabakov, Yakimek,
and Goldman.
And Goldman over there in Dorito 3.
5 shock. 4 shock.
What you don't want to do is burn 2 minutes off this clock and have
potentially lose
3.5 minutes to try and fight down 4 points. Blow it at 6 minutes, trust in the fact that you're Impact and you know how to handle these situations,
And they are going to do just that, Todd. They blow the horn, and that's what we're going to see. We're going to see an offensive push like we haven't seen out of Impact for a long time, because now they are down 4 points to Chicago Aftershock with only 5 minutes and 18 seconds left. That's a tall order, man. It's going to be tough for Impact, even being Impact.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if this ends a 5-4 game. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
But right now, the way Shock's playing, it's going to be tough. They're like Lauren said, they're putting full pressure at the wall, at the snake. Doritos, they're not backing off, and why should they?
No.
They lost both games yesterday. They got to win these games today if they even want to think about trying to play tomorrow.
And how big of a confidence boost would it be for Aftershock
to stomp in
after the year they had
the
to stomp Impact out in the prelims? Yeah. I mean, they just beat again, a lot of time left, but if they can get this win, it's like, hey, you guys just beat the best team in the world. Have some faith.
We can do this. And like Todd said, Carl's playing where we expect Carl to play.
And look at the difference. Yeah. Carl's had a phenomenal game.
3 points in a row.
He's had a phenomenal game over here.
4 points in a row now.
Really, really doing his job, and the team's playing well off those moves. So it's just a different Aftershock today. So now
they're shooting Impact on the break every game on the snake side here. Impact can't keep their snake players alive at all, and they're just running down their throat over here on the snake side. So
yeah, just goes to show you how much a good push on the snake side can pay off on this field. Looks like Uprising ready to go. There is Infamous on your screen ready to go. There's Uprising, there's Graham Arnold. Fifth guy to get in there. Here's Olsvik. Martel's going to be going up the center. Olsvik, snake side. Graham Arnold. And yeah, they're going to be going over towards that D side. So let's watch Uprising here on the breakout. So heavy towards the D side, but then repositioning. Send another body towards the snake side. Off the break, Damian Ryan. End up taking out Martel. Nice job by Damian Ryan to quickly get to that center 50.
They saw that coming from a mile away. You hear Travis saying X, 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 100%. Here comes Brandon Olsen through the middle of the field.
Did he get
He gets Damien, but does not get Brad. And Uprising on the attack.
Well, under a minute to go here.
And Thomas Taylor gets picked off. He's going to run off. Still an opportunity here with Olsvik alive. And Bodies walking off the snake side. Bornstein feeling the pressure. Joel Eaton coming down the field for Uprising, looking to get himself some kills. Olsvik with the whole snake side to himself. He comes all the way. Nobody's picked him up yet.
Olsvik going to have
Uprising going to be able to tie this up. Eaton and Olsvik right now.
Olsvik.
Just that Dorito corner for Infamous.
And Olsvik dives in to hit the buzzer to tie this game up here. I don't know if he got shot before he got there. There was one player left alive in Corey Bornstein in the back corner bunker on the D side for Infamous, trying to keep Olsvik from hitting that buzzer to tie this game up with not a lot of time left here. We'll see. The referees are checking him out. If he's clean, that's going to be a tie ball game here.
Yeah, what a move by Brandon Olsen through the middle of the field. Damian Ryan goes up there, shoots Martel. Olsen launches from that snake side tower, gets Damian off, frees up that whole side. Whoever shot Thomas Taylor was the key kill, diving into that snake one, allowing Olsvik to have free reign on this side of the field, and then constant pressure by Joel Eaton down that Dorito side. They end up in Infamous's back line and close that point out. And it looked like he got in there clean.
Possibly another overtime.
Yeah, Uprising is just the overtime kings. We had one against them, and I think they had two overtime games yesterday. Right? Two overtime games yesterday.
Outlaws first game, and then with Impact. So here we go. The start of Impact. Shot game 4-0.
And here comes Impact on the break. Heavy guns up. They lose Justin Rabikoff, but Keith Brown gets into the snake. They shoot one body for Aftershock. 4 bodies left alive for them.
We'll see, does Aftershock go to the defensive play, or do they keep their foot on the gas, which has been working?
Keep the foot on the gas.
Yeah, that's always it scares you sometimes when you have an offensive team go and try to get on defense, try to hold off the push. That doesn't always work. Nick Laval still alive. Looks like another body drops.
Alex Gold walking off, so they're down 2 bodies again. Shock's down 1, so it's a 4-on-3, but Keith Brown is on their side of the snake.
Yeah, Drew Templeton, Maddie, like you were asking about earlier, Drew Templeton in that snake insert, looking across the field. I think he might have been the guy that got the shot in on Goldman across the field.
Well, the farthest bunker back that you can shoot on that side where Templeton is D3. You got a shot on the 50-yard line bunkers, and then you got a shot on D3. That's pretty much it. So yeah, definitely had an opportunity. Here's Nick Laval now in good position. He gets 1 kill. Nick might be able to blow this game open, and he's going to trade out with Drew, but still 2 bodies come off on that Nick Laval move. Nice work, Nick Laval.
Amazing move. Takes out the 2. The snake side's wide open for Keith Brown now to move down.
Still 1 body left alive. Trying to get a shot on Keith Brown. And most importantly, they just need to take as much of this time off as possible. They're working with a 4-point spread here.
And looks like Keith Brown on the run in the very end there is going to put it on Ronnie Dizon in that can, as it came from Carl Markowski on the other side as well. Or Carl Markowski comes walking off from that Dorito side as well with Keith Brown's move.
Nick Laval
through the snake side there, and Keith hits the buzzer.
Saved that.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
That's the first point they put up. Period. So we'll see if they can rail off a couple more here. Yeah, only 3:49 left on this clock here.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
27 seconds left in this match right here. This match is tied 2-2.
Could potentially
with
be going
potentially
to
a third
another
overtime
yeah.
for Uprising here.
Uprising already played 2 overtime points yesterday, and this might be a third, as not a lot of time left, a little over 20 seconds to go here. On the breakout, looks like up to that center. Here comes Uprising, loses a body. Only 20 seconds left to go, and then there goes a body. Damian Ryan comes off. Unless another couple bodies drop pretty quickly here, we will see another overtime point here for Uprising. And it looks like, yeah, there goes Reeser, gets shot out of the center, and there's a minor penalty assessed, so that might allow Infamous to steal this point here in this last second, but they lose.
Infamous players are getting
body.
shot, and Graham Arnold is running down the field.
Graham Arnold, oh my God.
And Graham Arnold looked like he shot Meter Ninos on the run, and then goes in and hits the buzzer. Let's see if Arnold is clean. He ran in there like he wasn't touched.
Yeah, Graham Arnold.
As all the madness has happened over here, they pull out Olsvik, stick in Tucker. Tucker gets a minor, gets Olsen pulled. Graham Arnold books down the Dorito side, is chopping up bodies left and right, and it looked like he might have hit the buzzer in time.
Yeah, Graham Arnold might have just stole this game away from Infamous. For a second, I thought Infamous was going to do that, but
it looked like
then it just got real
like
chaotic,
said,
and then all of a sudden we look
down
up.
The sideline
we look up and just see a flash of orange hair running down that D side of the field. What a great job, again, by Graham Arnold. We constantly see Graham Arnold in these big-time situations here. This is becoming something that's it's happening on a regular basis, with Graham Arnold having big points to help his team out. So it looks like we're going to take a technical timeout here, fix an issue. But, man, what an amazing performance there by Graham Arnold, Rab.
We've been saying his name all weekend.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
They want theirs.
So,
yeah.
And you know what?
Well, let's check in with Lauren real quick.
Hey guys, as you see, Impact has a lot of work to do to come back in this match. Justin Rabikoff is saying that their most crucial job is getting someone into the snake. When they allow Aftershock and specifically Carl Markowski to take that snake over, they're not able to make their bumps up the field to get those aggressive points. So moving forward, they are making sure that they can get one of their players. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be Keith Brown into that snake to lock down that side of the field. Back to you.
Yeah.
Hey, get on the same page, Nikki! Nikki! Yes!
So can Impact continue this aggressive push? They did put a point on the board. They are still down by 3 and with about 4 minutes to work with. That's absolutely possible unless Aftershock wins one more point and takes about a minute off the clock. Then it could be Aftershock sealing the deal here.
And Aftershock, they've been playing aggressive the whole game. Continue on right now. Do not back off here.
Good point, Rab.
Because you know they're coming.
Yeah, good point. And what happened when they went defensive? They lost the point.
Yeah,
the
attack.
First defensive point they played, what happens? They lose. It's not a defensive team.
Attack. And I'm sure Mikey Bruno is over here screaming to these guys, hey, and look for Carl here to be aggressive.
So I'm getting information that Graham Arnold did not score the point.
Oh, man.
So we will be heading to another overtime point. Off the break, they are playing aggressive. Carl Markowski all the way to the snake off the break, and he makes it. They also sent Rob Velez to the stand-up can, and Impact loses the body. Nick Laval at the center 50 on your screen gets a shot on Carl Markowski. It's now 4-on-4.
Because they lose Rainy Stanzak at the same time, so Carl's not in the snake, so let's see if Keith Brown is going to get in the snake, and he's going to have to real quick here.
3 minutes and 24 seconds left to go. Edmonton Impact. Rainy Stanzak comes off. And it looks like the ball still doing well up at that center 50. He's now shooting towards the D side. Impact just not working with much time. Aftershock with the 4 bodies alive, trying to hunker down and roll those guns. Laval now switches sides. Laval so good about being proactive in that center 50.
Keith Brown needs to find a way to get that into the snake. I don't know what I know guys are shooting at him, but he's going to have to find a way to take some pressure off the Dorito side if they have any chance here.
Rabbit couldn't agree more. This is not the time to feel it out and work your way in there. No, you have to put guys in and go. Even risk getting shot, you have to, because you have to make up 3 points. You only have 2 minutes and 36 seconds left. It'd be a totally different story if this was a 3-4 game, but it's not. It's a 4-1 game with barely any time left. Here comes Laval. Laval launches and he gets Velez. Then he gets taken out, and then here comes the push.
And Shock loses another player.
Shock does lose another body, so now this is what Impact needs. Nice aggressive play here by Impact as they make 3 separate moves at the same time. And Brown, Rabikoff, and Goldman finish off that point and it all got started with that Nick Laval run through. So now we got a 2-point game with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to go if Rabikoff is clean. And it looks like the thumbs up, and he is good to go. So,
but Shock came out aggressive still, and that's what they need to do. Carl came to the snake on the break.
Deep breath. Let's go.
And that's what Shock needs to do. They need to keep playing aggressive. They're still up 2 points.
Yeah, they're up 2 points, and we're in the pits right now with Edmonton Impact. Still need 2 more points to tie this one up. Let's listen in.
Before we say that, the back center's looking through the God gap. So we got to go to the corner, and then he has to go to the
Nick puts it on that guy. Nick can wrap. That's the guy that puts it on, and then Nick goes. And if this guy's outside, the only guy we got to worry about is whether they go corner or snake, but we killed the snake. So Nick, Nick, are you feeling there, America? We didn't kill the snake.
Yeah, tense moments in the impact pits. And talk about a tense moment. This is the third overtime that Uprising has played in this one. They in this tournament. They lost both of them yesterday, so a must-win situation right now for Uprising. Infamous, they don't want to lose to Uprising. They went undefeated yesterday, and on the breakout, playing aggressive, getting Martel up into that center 50 and not losing a body is Uprising. Oh, but they lose Martel, so that's good for Infamous. Infamous right now, double stacking the temple. Let's see who's the next person to make a move for Infamous. Thomas Taylor's in the back corner bunker, and here comes Uprising, gets Olsvik up into Snake 1.
What a good read right there by Olsvik. Game after game after game. Checks the inside. Body in the Snake Tower, can't shoot him. Nobody in the back center. Blocks out the back right. Runs straight into that Snake 1, getting that good field position. Infamous double stacked in that Snake Tower. Brad McCurley out wide on the Dorito side. Bornstein in the Dorito side cannon. Thomas Taylor in this Snake side corner. 5-on-4 right now. Looking at Olsvik and Olsen on the Snake side. Graham Arnold over in that Dorito side can with Eaton in that Dorito 1 for Uprising.
So with 3 minutes, 52 seconds left, these teams gunfighting from their spots and probing, trying to figure out where the next move is. And there goes Thomas Taylor. Moves up a spot, gets to the insert bunker.
Brad McCurley moves up to the Dorito 2. So here's Dorito 3, Brad McCurley, and here's Thomas Taylor in the Snake 1. So he's mirrored up with Olsvik.
Thomas Taylor trying to go heads up with Olsvik right now. Olsvik going to tuck in. Brandon Olsen taking over protection. Brad McCurley getting to his feet over on Dorito 3. Looks like he gets a kill. Eaton comes running off. Just 3 bodies left alive now. McCurley on the move. Getting into the 50 Dorito now. Going heads up with Olsen. Olsen having to switch. Graham Arnold, he has to switch off the Dorito side, come look Snake side.
There goes a move. Infamous gets a body behind Thomas Taylor to help him out a little bit. Thomas Taylor now shooting down the sideline here. Olsevik and Taylor locked in a gunfight here in the Snake side, and you can see there's the line for Uprising on that D side. And there's Olsen trying to get a shot on that D side at that 50-yard line at D4.
Damian Ryan filling back to the back center from the Snake side tower. Going to start looking where he can make a move, looking where he can help. Cody Mikowski sitting in that Snake side corner behind Thomas Taylor, just watching for Olsvik. Olsvik posted down the wire now, protecting himself. Damian Ryan looking to make a move on the inside highway towards Olsvik. Graham Arnold, the only body looking towards the Snake side. Olsvik looking down the wire. There's Thomas Taylor. Here comes Damian Ryan. He's going to move into the center wall and look for that wrap again on Olsen.
Thomas Taylor moves up into Snake 2, throws a quick snapshot, try to get a shot on Olsvik. Cody Minkowski behind Thomas Taylor, shooting cross field right now, and now he's going to look down that line. There's no one in his mirror.
None.
So just Olsen, I'm sorry, just Olsvik in this Snake and on this Snake side. Olsen is beside him, but he's at the stand-up temple, and his gun is focused on D4.
And now Infamous has 2 Dorito players, Dorito 50, Dorito 5, and Dorito 4. So he has to stay that way, which is going to leave Thomas some areas to work with in here.
And if Uprising's going to have a chance, they're going to have to get some kills here, try and even it up before Infamous tries to launch their closing game here. Try and win this point in overtime. 1 minute, 14 seconds left. Infamous still with all 5 bodies, looking where they can make that move from. Arnold and Olsen. Can they stave off that attack, or is Infamous going to come flying through and trade bodies? Here comes Thomas Taylor.
Thomas Taylor with under a minute to play here in this overtime point. There are no one-on-ones, and
this
there's no
is the move right there. Thomas just takes out.
Huge move by Thomas Taylor. Gets the kill cross field on Graham Arnold. And then that puts Olsen and Olsvik in a bad spot, because here comes Damian Ryan. He comes through, gets a shot on Olsvik, polishes off Olsen before he catches one. And here comes Thomas Taylor and Brad McCurley to win this game for Los Angeles Infamous. Oh, looked like Brad got shot there. So
Thomas shot Brad.
On purpose, and then said, I'm going to go get that flag. McCurley
I'm go get it. Nope.
That was the bad Thomas
I'm
Taylor
taking
impression.
that flag.
I feel so bad for Uprising. I mean, good job for Infamous, but
3
overtime losses in your first 3 games in the prelims. It
At
doesn't
World-
get
at
any
World
at
Cup.
World Cup. It doesn't get any closer than that. We've never
You get a
seen that
heartbreaker,
before.
and then you put it back together, and then you break it again, and then you put it back together,
And
and then you break it again.
So Uprising is going to go into their last game against Chicago Aftershock with an 0-3 record and 3 overtime losses. That is a, yeah, man, that's tough to do.
gotta be a
That's
record.
tough.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I've never seen that before.
We've done webcasting for a while now. I've never called three overtimes.
Yeah, so.
Not back. Not like
And
this.
how close was Graham Arnold to hitting that buzzer at the end of the regulation point, you know?
Close as it gets.
Yeah.
Really? Was it like
it was a couple, I think it was a couple seconds.
Yeah.
a couple seconds?
So there's the breakout of Aftershock and Impact, and they lose. Aftershock loses going to the wall, so
Yeah, there
they're
goes
down
Lawhead.
1.
Down 1 body right away. 2-minute mark. 4-2 in favor of Aftershock.
Talk about heartbreakers. If Aftershock lets Impact rail off 4 unanswered points to tie this game up and then ends up losing, it's going to be heartbreaker for Shock.
And it's going to be tough because they just lose Nick Laval, who's been doing a lot of work there at the wall.
Keith Brown, though, scurries to the 50-yard line. 4 players left alive for Shock. They need to isolate Keith Brown. Can't let him get in here and start doing work. Markowski fills the snake, gets in there clean. Nice move, nice fill by Carl Markowski.
Yeah, and Keith Brown has help with Rainey Stanzak behind him in the snake side corner. But with Carl Markowski getting in that snake 1, he has a little bit better field position. Looking towards that Dorito side, here comes Rainey. He's going to jump in with Keith Brown into snake 1 to try and work down the wire.
Minute and 12 seconds left to go for Impact to score 2 points to tie this game up and force an overtime. And you can tell that by the gunfights of Edmonton Impact, they understand the situation. They are recklessly gunfighting, trying to create opportunities to move up. As we breach the 1-minute mark, there's Carl now leaning towards that inside the highway. He knows that that's where the attack is most likely going to come. Aftershock loses the body, though, Todd.
Yeah, Justin Rabikoff coming down that Dorito side, gets into the 50. Rainey gets shot. And looks like Velez is having some loader trouble there in the back center. He's trying to get his gun up towards the snake side.
Keith is going to have to get going down the snake.
Worst time ever to have a loader issue right now as the attack is starting to come on that D side of the field. Markowski repositions and he gets taken out. 1 player left alive for Shock as D's on. He gets taken out by Rabikoff, and Rabikoff runs in, slams on that buzzer with 19 seconds, just about maybe around 19 seconds to make this a 1-point game. But that, as long as the hang is clean, we would see Rabikoff had no time to check himself, obviously. With, with only 20 seconds left, he needed to stomp on that buzzer, and he did. And the point is good, so with 18 seconds left, Impact is going to have to push as aggressively as we've seen out here this weekend, as they have almost no time to work with. And if they do score, we haven't seen an 18-second point.
Not on this field. This one will be tough.
But what a great job by Impact to claw back into this game.
Yeah, you're like, especially their next game is against Infamous, so they lose this game.
They could.
They're 2-1. They got to play Infamous, and Infamous now is 3-0.
There's Justin Rabikoff. Let's listen in.
Oh yeah. Did they blow it? We still have a minute. Where are you gonna go?
Yes.
We're at a minute 20.
20 seconds.
You didn't time it, right? You didn't hit it?
I'm gonna push it.
Yeah, let's go.
Hey, 20 seconds.
Hey, we need everyone here. We don't need this. Let's go, everyone on the same page. Listen. Guys.
2 minutes.
Here's what's gonna happen. JC.
Yeah.
To Phil after I caused.
Hey, real quick, JC, come to the corner and just hopefully the guy goes to the snake off the break. Shoot down the wire and then go right down the wire.
You gotta go around the corner.
You gotta go around the corner. Hopefully you're good shot. Rainey and Nick right up the center.
Yeah. America, Canada.
America, Canada.
We did.
Shoot
We
their
need
wide,
to
guys.
shoot.
America, Canada listen. Everyone has to listen, guys. America, Canada, Rainey and Nick have to shoot their wide guys, right? Listen, up and over with Mouse. Bacon come to the can.
No, he's got to go to the corner.
You gotta go to the corner.
I'm gonna go dead zone outside the can.
Who's this guy?
You're sending somebody Canada though? You can't. I have to use the Canada. Keep an eye on the clock.
Hey, you guys, whoever's going here, hey, this guy's on the cross. I think we go here and you fucking run up this way. Up to this side. Wrap on the back.
You're gonna shoot snake? Yes.
Whoever that guy is. Who is it?
We got a minute 13, guys. Let's go, boys.
Get your guys down there.
And over.
Okay.
I'm out of there.
Yes, we can do that.
A minute left. JC, can you make sure everyone's on the same page?
Hey, we need a
right now,
trailer.
Nick? Get down there.
So Man, that's I love seeing in that pit, in that pressure situation right now with Impact trying to set an incredibly aggressive game plan. It's going to be, it's high risk right now with 19 seconds. They have no chance to just get in a bunker and gunfight. It has to be a coordinated attack. Now, we've seen Impact score these quick points before, time and time again, in pressure situations, but you know, it's always a low percentage play. So this is a tough moment right now for Impact, and it's a big test for Aftershock.
Yeah, this is Aftershock needs to just come right, meet him everywhere. Just meet him everywhere. Send Carl where he needs to go. Send the guys to the wall. Just we know you're coming. This is Mikey Bruno's moment. He likes to fight. Let's go.
Yeah, and if you're Shock, you need to keep that one guy that is going to be relatively close to the buzzer and able to, you know, try to shoot those bodies when the chaos happens. So here we go. Only 20 seconds left, 22 seconds left in this match. And they send, Aftershock sends Markowski to snake one off the break. Impact getting chewed up here on this attack. The ball's the first to die, but of course he's going to die. He's trying to suck all the guns up, but Stanza gets shot too. No one has picked up Justin Cornell. Finally, he gets picked up, but he takes out Markowski, and just 4 seconds left. I don't think that Impact's going to be able to do it. Chicago Aftershock just beat the #1 ranked team in the world right now in Edmonton Impact. What a huge game for Chicago Aftershock.
Man, that's a big game. Who's their next game against? They have
Shock plays Uprising.
They have Uprising, so they can go 2-2 today, and hey, you never know what happens. You might get in tomorrow.
And Rab, like you were saying, because Infamous is playing so well, they're 3-0. That's who Impact has to play next. So, you know, Todd, that's a huge game for both those teams, but particularly for Impact, because if Impact goes 2-2, that's a roll of the dice of whether or not you get in on Sunday, depending on how everyone else does.
Yeah, well, Shock is going to have to play, Shock and Infamous. I'm sorry, where am I at here? Shock's last game. Shock plays Uprising, right? And Uprising with their 3 overtime games, they're playing pretty well, right? So it's a must-win for Shock, and it's a must-win for Impact now. You know, all these teams all in the same bracket. Yeah.
It just got interesting with Shock winning that game.
Shock winning that game. They definitely give themselves a chance. If they can beat Uprising and Infamous can win, then
it comes out of point differential.
It's going to be, well, head-to-head, Shock over Impact. Yep. You know, that could be crazy. What if Shock doesn't make it into Sunday? Then you look at your overall standings. Because they're so far ahead of everybody. The only possible way that somebody else, like Infamous, who's I think in second place, has an opportunity is if Infamous
to send those guys out of the way.
Doesn't make Sunday. That's probably the only chance they have.
And that is the chance they have. They have to win. And they need Impact to not make Sunday. And
you got your opportunity.
Well, it's Impact Infamous, right? So it's all on Infamous. If they beat Impact, then they have the opportunity to send Impact home.
Yeah, so it's getting crazy already. This is exactly what we expected to happen. It happens every tournament, but because it's World Cup, it's the last event of the year, and you've had all year long to improve your team. We're seeing these really close games. So it's going to continue on. We're just getting things going here in Saturday's competition. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly, and she is down with Thomas Taylor from Los Angeles Infamous.
Thanks, Maddie. What an amazing morning we've had already. Congratulations for winning your game this morning. You guys are 3-0 now in prelims. We were talking a little bit. Tell me how you were feeling going into that point where Uprising was playing exceptionally well.
Yeah, I mean, Uprising is playing a great tournament. Every one of their games has gone to overtime. You know, honestly, we were a little nervous. We were disappointed. We let them score a 1-minute point. And that was kind of on us. We had a 3-2 advantage, so we went to overtime. I mean, obviously, we're confident we're going to win it, but, you know, you never want to go to overtime. You want to finish it in regular time and move on. So, yeah, you know, we guaranteed win that. We're going on to Sunday, right? So you don't want to be there. We just wanted to be just moving on.
Well, and your last prelim match is a big one against Impact. Yeah. Not only can you knock them out of Sunday, but that means you also could be seeded as the top team for the series overall. Are you guys feeling that pressure at all, or how are you feeling going into that match?
Honestly, we love playing Impact. It's always a good match. You know, we think we can beat them any day. They got good players, so. Yeah, I mean, obviously we came here to win a series title this year, and we dropped the ball last event, so that put a big gap. So we need to beat them here and send them home so we can take the series title and the championship. I mean, I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone any day, right?
Yeah, I mean, you or Infamous or Impact could win that match. It's really a coin toss. What do you think it's going to come down to with that one?
Oh, if we're playing that one, it's who makes the least amount of mistakes. So if we make the least amount of mistakes, we'll win that match. You know, matchup-wise, player-wise, we're pretty equal across the board. I mean, they play a lot more players than we do, but at the end of the day, if we make less mistakes, we will win. You know.
So many of these matches have been so close. We've seen a lot of overtimes already. Do you think we're going to see that match against Impact play slower, faster? What would you predict?
It's going to be a very close game. It's probably going to be won by 1 point in the last few seconds, and you know, probably controversial how things go around here. So I can't see it being anything but a blood match. I mean, it's going to be a good battle.
I'm excited for it. And last question, I love seeing you in an Infamous jersey. Tell me what it's been like this season being on that team. Do you feel like you found your home?
You know, being on Infamous is just awesome. Travis believes in me. He said that since day one. He wanted to use me to my strengths, and having a bunch of guys that you can go out there and just play your paintball. You know, if you get shot off the break, it's no big deal. If you go down and it doesn't work out, it's no big deal. You know, they believe in me, and you know, it's obvious they put me in the crunch time. They want me to do what I can do, and you know, God's good, man. It's just been a blessed season, and we all just gelled right off the bat. So I'm super happy being here. And before you let me go, can I shout out to my wife? I love you. Thanks for taking care of all the kids. We had a brand new baby, Zechariah, little guy. He's watching us, 3 weeks old. Keith Taylor, my best friend. I love you. Harmony Grace.
Can't wait to get Zachariah out here.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Stay tuned, guys. We got more matches after the break.